Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the CX Goalkeeper Podcast. Today, I'm really thrilled because I'm going to discuss about artificial intelligence and what is happening in this environment with Manu Dwievedi. Hi, Manu. How are you?
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Very well. Super thrilled to kick off this discussion. But the audience know me. Now it's important that the audience know also you. You are really a smart guy. You were recommended to me by a really good friend. And therefore, Manu, could you please introduce yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, everyone. I'm Manu Dwievedi. I've been in this industry for almost more than a decade now. I have worked in almost every role that you can imagine. I've gone through a lot of hats, and right now I'm a director of eTech Insights for eTech Global Services. I basically started as an agent around 11 12 years ago, and since then I believe of myself as a lifelong learner of AI. Went to MIT, finished my course at top 3 of the class. I have been working with eTech implementing AI solutions, specifically when it comes to speech and RTA for last 7 to 10 years. My specialty is ensuring that I'm helping machine learns human better and human conversations.
Thank you, Manu. And to learn a bit more about yourself and your career, which values drive you in life?
Okay, that's a very good question, Greg. And I think it's very important for a person to, have key values that drive them. For me, there are two. One is always being curious about, things. You never know enough. You have never learned it all, right? And that's what drove me personally. I got around 7 to 8 years ago, I learned about perceptron model. That was an AI model that's where this entire thing began, right? My professor we were chatting, and I showed him something that had some weights, and he was like, hey, you know what? This is exactly what perceptron is. And that's where it started. The second value that I believe got me where I am, and my mentor, always, taught this to me, was valuing people and ensuring that you are able to grow them. And that has been phenomenal for me. Even at eTech, when you think about it, 7 years back, I was just starting in this industry, and today I'm the director of this organization, right? It cannot happen without people driving, helping me, providing me the feedback, ensuring that I'm walking towards the right path. And, I believe that we should pass that forward. And I've tried to do the exact same thing with my team as well.
Thank you very much, Manu. I really like this exchange because we wanted to speak about artificial intelligence, but you really started with a human touch. And therefore, let's kick off the game and discuss about artificial intelligence. And the first point that you are mentioning, I think it's really interesting. How is it possible to balance the AI capabilities and maintaining a human-centric approach in the workplace?
Hey, Greg, that's a question that, I see that being asked a lot of times, but I see people being afraid of things like, hey, AI is going to take over and so on. But one thing that, people don't talk about is that AI is nothing without human beings. Let's talk about one key approach that, made ChatGPT or OpenAI what it is right now. It was RHFL, recurrent human feedback loop. There are 3 key loops: human in the loop, with the loop, or on the loop. You will notice each one of them has human in their name. AI is nothing without the human actually providing it either feedback, helping it make decisions, or making decisions based on the data that AI is providing. I don't think, AI and human will work together where AI will augment repetitive things that we were spending a lot of our time in. And it will empower us to be able to do better in those 8-9 hours that we have in a day. And I think that's the key to it. AI will be an enabler for human beings. AI will ensure that we are able to get those repetitive things like, automated, those very resource intensive things that really help you make decisions. Now you don't have to spend that, hours getting those resources. AI will get those data points for you, and then you will end up making those decisions. So I think, to summarize it all, AI and human will have to work together to be able to go to the next level now.
Thank you, Manu. It's really interesting. And you mentioned that it's augmentation of human beings or doing repetitive tasks. You are working in the customer service field. Do you have perhaps an example that you implemented in the last few months or weeks that helped your colleagues doing a better job?
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about one. So I'll start with a story of performance disparity. Now, when you talk about a typical contact center, there will be one thing that we all knew and we all accepted. It was that some people will always be the best performers, and some people will always be the bottom quartile. And we just accepted that as a fact, right? Now, let me tell you what AI did. When we started this, we implemented speech analytic models to be able to understand what your top performers are doing. Not only did we understand it, we also statistically quantified the success of these behaviors. And then in near real time, AI sent this information back to the agents who weren't able to do these behaviors. And now we had suddenly bridged the gap. Everybody had the same information to be able to make better decision. And we just implemented this for a customer a while back where they were struggling with being able to save customers who were coming in to cancer. And what they realized was that top performers were explaining the benefits of what this really means when bottom performers were just taking orders. When this information was actually cascaded to bottom performers, they realized that there are better behaviors that we can follow. They got that coaching in the moment and they were able to implement it. So now agents knew what, when, how, in the moment, without depending on anybody. And this didn't happen entirely autonomously, right? AI had to be taught what to look for. So I think that's a great example of how customer experience itself is evolving. This was speech analytics, right? There are multiple examples out there as well. When you talk about generative AI, now it's not like generative AI chatbots are just taking away jobs of all the agents who are chatting currently, right? It's empowering them. Now agents don't have to spend time looking for those troubleshooting instructions in the knowledge base. They get it in the moment. They don't have to spend time researching customer's account. They get it on their screen. But the decision maker is still the agent because nothing can replace human creativity and empathy.
What I really like is the first example that you use. It was not about generative AI, because that's something that everybody's speaking, but also these voice-to-text technologies. It's really incredible because that's the opportunity to transform unstructured data into structured data and then starting find out how to work out. And I think these are new skills that we need, that people need. How do you think AI will transform, change job roles and skills in digital and customer experience sectors?
Great, that's a great question. And I actually want to give an example that happened to me personally. Let's start with that, right? So at eTech, we had somewhere around 300 to 400 analysts who were 7 years ago listening to calls and then going through the data to make decisions and help customers make decisions, right? Then so we realized that now we need to level up. It's not about 10 calls anymore, 15 calls as well, right? So the entire workforce was upskilled. Currently I have 340 data analysts, engineers and scientists. We didn't get rid of a single guy who was there. Everybody learned. They learned how to train these engines. They learned how to provide feedback to these engines. They learned how to help make better decisions based on the data that is providing. So I think AI is shifting our workforce to be higher skilled. Soon you will see that the new roles will pop up. Like right now we talk about machine learning engineers. In future it will be more about AI engineers. Prompt engineering is already a thing. We will also see people coming in and AI quality analysts will become a thing as well, where people are looking at the quality feedback that is provided by AI and telling it how to be better. So overall I see this entire ecosystem shifting towards a higher skill job role, where now people can do more in those tasks that they have, instead of it replacing job. That is one thing that everybody fears.
And I think what you're saying is extremely interesting, because you have now a lot of data scientists, but the opportunity to scale up, it's extremely big, because you are then automating a lot of tasks, a lot of jobs that can be then applied in a lot of different contact center, customer service and environment. We spoke a lot, or sometimes, about internal. It means workforce and how to augmenting them. Now let's look on the other side about really customer experience for external customers. How can AI enhance customer experience strategies while ensuring personalization and human-centric interactions?
That's a very good question, Greg. And one thing that I want to, really talk about when it comes to this is right now, AI, when we talk about AI, we think of AI as somebody who has a magic potion and they're going to solve everything, right? It's not, this is not how AI works. You have to define use cases. You have to ensure that AI is customized to what you need out of it. And AI is currently transforming CX exactly the same way. When you think about it, now customers don't have to wait in queues for 1 hour, 2 hours, because a lot of things that an agent was doing when it comes to repetitive tasks like researching a customer is happening in the moment. Verifying customers happens autonomously. So now AI is making agents capable enough that they can resolve your queries very quickly. And what it's providing is in the moment customer feedback and customer resolution, and taking that entire duration that it used to the customer effort of spending a lot of times on phones and chat is reducing. Also, AI is helping customers make proactive decisions as well. For an example, I don't want to, go on a chat or spend time on a call for 10, 15 minutes just to reset my password. Now AI is helping you do that in the moment. I click on help, it asks me which one of these things you want to do. I click reset password, it tells me how to, and we are good. So these are some examples that I see right out there where AI is helping customer experience become better. And one key thing is that AI is not only chat focused or call focused. AI is omni-channel. AI is looking at everything. So now when a customer comes in and they have an issue, agent knows about if they went to the website, if they called in somebody, they already know what the issue is. They already know what the resolution is because AI is providing all of this. CDP, customer data platforms, are becoming a thing where all of the data is residing in one platform and AI is taking it from there to help you make decisions better. So AI is enhancing customer experience every step of the way.
I really like what you're saying, and I think the big change and the next movement will be being really proactive on this data platform, customer data platform. There is a lot of know-how information about the customer, but also about the context of the customer, and at the point in time, well, companies will get proactive and inform the customer this and that happened, you should do this and that, as you said, password reset. Some point in time, if you type 2-3 times the wrong password, then the company should know. Let's contact the guy and tell Manu, asking him, is he trying to type the password? And if yes, let's proactively reset the password. I think this will be really the nice features that will make the difference from normal companies to AI-enabled companies. And we're speaking a bit also about innovation and risk. I mentioned also security and so on. What are from your point of view, the primary risk in AI, and how can this effectively mitigate it?
Greg, I think one of the primary risks that everybody is talking about right now is bias. And when people talk about bias in AI models, they, usually I see people talking about important things like, human values, perception, gender, and so on. But there is one more thing that we all need to address. Bias is not just about this. Bias is also about your perception of the data that you're feeding AI. So for an example, if you do not believe in AI, you do not believe in AI needing all the information it needs to make decision, you're going to train the AI the same way. And the AI will be trained on a data set that won't be enough for it to make a decision. Let's take a very specific example. Let's say you believe that all the negative sentiments that you are getting from the customer are customer's fault. Now, let's say you had to go ahead and train an AI engine to identify these sentiments in real time. What will you do? You will train AI on the examples that you are so used to looking at. And now what's end up happening is you have just trained a bias model. And that model is going to provide you exactly what you have been saying till now, that they are pissed off because they didn't, know how to reset the password, or they didn't do this properly. But what about the things that you never knew? So bias is about not just about human values, but it's about providing everything that is needed for a model to make a decision, and not just what your perception is. And I see that that will be a big risk that companies will have to go through, because human perception will always come into the picture, where people will think that what they know is right and teach the model the same way. Second, and a bigger risk, I'm sorry, you were saying something.
No, it's great. You can continue. I'm laughing because I have an example to share, but you continue. Sorry.
And second, and one of the big things that I see right now is, now AI has become so popular, specifically after ChatGPT, right? Let's be honest, ChatGPT was not the major breakthrough in AI in this year. It was way before it, when Google released all the, Google and Facebook released all the visual models, but nobody knew about them. ChatGPT made it easy for you to interact with an AI system, and then suddenly everybody realized that AI is the thing. It's coming. And now there is a race where every company is trying to buy AI and integrate it in their tech stack. But a lot of those decisions are being made without a clear use case. And this is one of the very big risks that I see, where suddenly after a year, because of these mistakes that are being made currently in procuring those AI models, suddenly people will become disillusioned with AI, or they will start thinking AI is not helpful. When in reality, you did not implement a clear use case and a goal for AI to solve. So these are the two key risks that I see currently.
To comment a bit on that, what you're saying, starting with the second one, I see a lot of companies asking their people, let's do an AI or ChatGPT project without knowing what to achieve. Yes, we give all our data or all our documents into ChatGPT, and then we will see what happens. But without having a clear outcome, what you want to achieve, it's impossible to do something that it really also bring value. And then if you start investing in this technology and you don't see the value, then perhaps some stakeholders won't be happy, and then you need to start again. And the point in time that you really need to implement something that makes sense, then you have a lot of questions, discussion, because you already tried once. This is on one side what I'm really seeing. But what's really interesting was the first part that you mentioned, because these biases, I think this is something that's key. And in only my small world with 150 episodes I created in the last 2.5 years, I started working together with ChatGPT. And I think you can empathize, and I ask ChatGPT for help. And yesterday evening, I asked ChatGPT, what do you think about my podcast? And then biases, as you're saying, oh, this is a great podcast, it's outstanding. I said, okay, yes, but I want to improve that. And then with the right prompting on the level that I know, not the level of the expert that are in your companies or outside, but then ChatGPT started telling me, oh, you need to focus on the audio quality, you need to focus on video quality, you need to focus on SEO, this and that. And this was really helpful. But from the first glance at what I was asking, they said, it's great. And then it would be something like a bias. I really like and enjoy what you're sharing. Perhaps before going to the next topics, which is the most interesting use case that you implemented in the last few weeks using artificial intelligence?
Oh, let's talk about that. Yeah. So we recently helped a customer solve a very big supply chain problem. And it's funny how it all started. So the customer is a very large global drug manufacturer, and they had a very unique problem. They said, Manu, when we looked at all of the interactions that our agents are having with the B2B customers, we have taken somewhere around 500,000 calls just in last quarter. And when we look at those calls, last 2 quarters, and when we look at those calls, we see that there is a lot of silence in each one of those interactions. So we see that, around 40 to 50% of the interaction is just silence time. So this is something the model told them. And this is where you will see that how human and model are working together as well. So when the model told them, hey, 40 to 50% is just silence time, we started to look deeper into it. And then when we prompted the model, we taught the model exactly what to look for, what exactly is driving this silence. We saw that most of these silences were happening because once the customer told agent a problem, right? Agent was trying to look for that information, trying to talk to multiple different people internally. or somebody trying to look for information that they never had. And they were spending so much time in this research that the call duration increased from, let's say, 5 minutes to 10. And just think about the money that is they are spending just in those 5 extra minutes in every conversation. And also think about the customer effort impact. Now the customers are unhappy because you're not able to solve these problems. When we looked at this entirely, we realized that there were three key changes we needed to make. One, we needed to empower agents to have that information available in the moment. So instead of them searching through PDFs or knowledge bases, now the moment somebody said, hey, you know what, I'm looking to see exactly if this drug is available, the AI provided that information to agent and agent didn't have to search for it. That saved them time. Second, we saw a lot of customers were just coming in and asking, hey, where is my order? Now, that's not a question you really need a human being to answer. So now AI was implemented to help them get that information in the moment. If somebody comes to the help page, they click for the help button. The first question they ask is, are you looking for order status? AI quickly looks for it and provides it to them. Hey, your order is 1 day out. You will get it at exact this day. So all the repetitive tasks like verifying a customer, the first 45 seconds to 1 minute was being spent just asking questions and customer replying. Do you really need a human being doing that? Right? What is your name? What is your account number? AI can help you do that. So we saw that by enabling these augmentation of repetitive human task being done by AI, not only were we able to enable better customer experience, we were actually able to save this customers hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. Nobody lost their job. People became empowered, and even agents are happier now because they don't have to deal with unhappy customers all the time because they are taking too long to answer questions.
Manu, it's really a great example, and you mentioned it, but I want to come back to this point. 1 minute or 45 seconds saved. If we speak about 1 million of calls a year or 1 million of calls a month, it's quite a lot of money. I think it's quite easy calculated how much time we can save from our employees, and then it's the judgment of the leadership if it's the idea to reduce the number of employees or to give more time for other calls to reduce the length of the queues, customer waiting in the queue, and so on. But this is the application of artificial intelligence in order to automating processes which don't require human interactions, and it's really incredible what is possible. And thinking about leadership, executive level, taking some decisions, I think also in this field, AI can support executive leadership in taking decisions. What's your view? How can we apply, or how can leadership apply AI to make more data-driven decisions?
Oh, absolutely, Greg. And I think this leads us back to the conversation we were having that everybody's just buying AI because it's the shiny new toy, right? So one key thing that I'll tell is every executive needs to have a team that is educated on AI, at least understand AI on a broader perspective, and has a very clearly defined AI use case before you buy one. If you have a use case that you know is going to solve my problem, then you make that purchase decision to solve the problem, not the other way around that you buy AI and then look problems to solve. That's one key thing. And one very clear way AI can help executives right now is, specifically the time it takes to get the actionable insights. For an executive, it's very important to have information in the moment to make those data-driven decisions and not perception-based decision because I feel that way. Right now, in a lot of places, it's happening that decisions are being made because somebody at the executive level felt, okay, I've been here for 25 years. I know exactly what my customer needs. So what I would say is AI will help executive go through 100% of your customer interaction, every touch point that your customer has, and then provide you the actionable insight that you need to make that decision. And of course, this will be an HI and AI role, not just an AI role. Also, AI will help you track those decisions in real time. One thing that I see a lot of executives struggling with currently is, okay, I made a decision, For an example, I saw that an offer was very impactful with my customer. Everybody was saying, this is great, I'm going to buy it. So I released it in 5 different markets on top of my testing market, right? Now executives have to sit still and wait. Maybe in a week, I'll get information on how the other markets are doing. But with AI, they will get this information in near real time. And now they will know what is the impact of my decisions as well. So for executives, it will help, AI will help them track the decisions that are being made. First of all, it will help them make those decisions that are data driven, not perception driven. And I think that's the biggest, key. If you are making decision based on what each and every customer of your customer feels, and you are able to track them in real time to make those modifications in real time, now every executive is empowered to make decisions quicker and ensure that they have a better probability of success.
Thank you, Manu. I'm not going to ask who will be responsible for a wrong decision taken by AI. This is something for the next podcast, but we already spoke about biases, and this game is coming to an end. But in the extra time, in the last 3 minutes, I still have 3 questions for you. In 10 years' time from now, we are back on the CX Goalkeeper podcast. What we are discussing about?
Greg, that is a very interesting question for me, because I see that AI is evolving every day. There are new research paper coming in every day. Remember the time, like 3 years back, a research paper on machine learning used to drop once a month, if then. Now there are research paper dropping in every day, which has something new. ChatGPT just became multi-model. Llama's new version just got released. Elon Musk released his own AI engine. Everything is happening so fast. I think within 10 years, Greg, we might be back on this podcast and discussing things like the impact that AI has made to enable human. We will see how new job roles have opened, how new revenue streams have opened based on what AI was, help us achieve, basically.
Thank you very much. And what's the best way to contact you?
Oh, the best way to contact me is just drop me an email at manu@etechtexas.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn by just writing their name over there. If you have any questions around AI, if you are just interested in learning more about AI as well, drop me a text. I enjoy and I would love to have these conversations.
Thank you. And to the audience, you will find all the information in the show notes. I will drop you a line because I want to have you back, not in 10 years' time, but next year, to discuss the evolution of artificial intelligence on this podcast. Now we are coming to the last question. Is Manu's golden nugget, it's something that we discussed, or something new to leave to the audience?
My golden nugget, Greg, will be that 100 years ago, and this was something that Andrew Nugget said, one of the, you can think of him as the father of artificial intelligence. He said that AI is going to do to humanity what electricity did 100 years ago. So either you are afraid of AI or you are apprehensive of AI, it's coming, right? And it will help you make those decisions. It will help you do those, get more jobs. Now, as an executive, it's your turn to start doing something about it. Either you can be a dinosaur and, never do anything about AI, and Kodaks and blockbusters happen, or you can get into the moment, define clear use cases, and start utilizing AI.
Thank you very much, Manu. It was really a great pleasure to have you on the CX Goalkeeper podcast. Thank you.
It was an immense pleasure to talking with you, Greg. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And to the audience, it's everything. Manu, please stay with me. I hope that you enjoyed this discussion as much as I did. We love feedback. Contact Manu, contact me for any questions, any feedback that you have related to this episode or related to artificial intelligence. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share the word of mouth. Subscribe it, share it. Until the next episode, please don't forget, we are not in a B2B or B2C business, we are in a human-to-human environment. Thank you!